Starting this off from a talent perspective with Jeanty is important because I don't really have too many questions about him as a player. He's a big back with balance, but he's coming off an immense amount of workload. Like, you don't do all that from a statistical perspective without touching the football a ton. And we just talked about this, last week about Saquon Barkley and all of those touches that he assumed.
And we've seen other highly drafted running backs come in that have these monster workloads in college and have these like video game numbers and did not work out in the NFL. Like, it's not like it would be the first time that happens. So if we're going to lawyer it, that's the first spot that I would start. The next one would be, this isn't necessarily the best scenario to land in going to the Raiders. Even if it all works out, it might take a little while for them to gel and for it all to come together. And that's why it just seems so crazy when you really boil it down to, how do you take a running back that early when your franchise is at this point? Like, they are not a running back away. This is not the Philadelphia Eagles going out and getting Saquon Barkley and adding that last piece. This is a team that just invested big time draft capital in a running back in hopes that he can be that thing that powers their entire offense. And it better work out, because if it doesn't, fantasy wise and real life, it is going to be trouble for everybody involved.
I'm going to make an absolutely disgusting comparison that, while
Don't say
it sounds
Trent
gross,
Richardson.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm about to say. Like, it's a disgusting comparison, but it actually should give you some hope if even all of these negative things come to pass. Like, it actually can still work out for Ashton Jeanty as a, first round pick in fantasy football, like a top 10 running back. Let's just be clear. Trent Richardson turned out to not be the player that everybody hoped he is. So let's live in this pretend world where Ashton Jeanty is not the player that everybody hopes he is. He averaged 3.6 yards per carry. He played on an offense in the Cleveland Browns that ranked 24th in points per game in 2012. And he was the running back 8 in fantasy points that year. I do think that Jeanty can do a lot of that, could end up having a pretty similar season, and that would certainly bring up questions in the Raiders organization. But for our selfish fantasy purposes, that actually wouldn't be a win if you took him as the 4th running back. He finishes as the 8th, but it's a small loss, if anything.
Yeah, volume is king, and barring injury, he is going to get the volume. The volume will be there. I think he's going to be okay, but there's definitely, I think we've done a good job here of pointing out some reasons why people might want to think twice or just maybe bump him down a spot or two in their rankings.